Cohen paid for it personally without instruction from Trump and was never reimbursed for it.
Do you think has Cohen claimed otherwise though?
After the fact, yes, Cohen has claimed otherwise.
So were those statements under oath?
I don't know who the letter was filed with. Do you have a lawyer? I imagine you've gone through legal stuff, right?
Not like a dedicated one, but I've have a couple depending on what I'm going through. Yeah.
Do you go through their itemized invoices? You might. I mean, I don't know if you do or not.
I've never made a single payment of over $10,000 to a lawyer. So usually they send me the itemized thing, and they bill by every 15 minutes or 10 minutes or whatever. Yeah.
These bills that Trump's paying are over hundreds of thousands of dollars.
I think for Cohen, wasn't it like $330,000 or something at the end of the day? Yeah,
something like that. And so I really doubt Trump was handed this invoice, looked at it and said, no, we can't say we paid Stormy. That's illegal. Let's falsify this record. He probably got a legal bill and was like, just pay him. I don't know, whatever. Right? Didn't Cohen claim that he and Trump had personal conversations about this particular issue? Yes, after the fact. But in 2018, Cohen's lawyer.
I think Tim's argument would be more solid if it not for the fact that Trump has some weird thing where he doesn't like paying people.
Trump literally has that, though. Haven't you heard? Remember, he doesn't pay people. Remember,
that's what I'm saying. No, but I'm saying that the fact that Trump is like notorious for not having paid people, that hurts Tim's. Because like normally you think, okay, Trump billionaire, he's not looking over the item like Tim said, he's not looking over the itemized list of like, why would Trump like really violate the law? He can't afford to pay Stormy Daniels the $100,000 or whatever it was. It just seems ridiculous. But since Trump has this since he's well known for not paying people, and you always bring up the example of
Bill Barr, William Barr, Attorney General, told Trump, there's all these election shenanigans going on in 2020, and Bill Barr gave him a heads up months before any of this.
It was like a year before.
Yeah. He says, listen, Democrats are changing the rules. We need to have attorneys on the ground to deal with this situation. And you have a notorious reputation for not paying attorneys, so no one's going to work for us until you put $10 million from your campaign into an escrow account to show them that they're going to get paid. And Trump didn't do it. That's one of the things that always people on the right, I mean, that's the buck stops with Trump.
Right. He wanted him to put $10 million in escrow that would be used to pay lawyers who would go to every state where the election laws had been changed.
And fight those changes. Yes.
Right. And this was like, Bill Barr was like, you should do this like a year or 2 years before the election happens. You need to start like early.
Yes.
And then they didn't do that for whatever reason.
Each of the political parties has people on the ground in every single state. They know what's happening. They know about the law changes. They know how it's going to affect the election. They phone into party headquarters and say, listen, this is going to hurt us in the next election. We got to do something. Trump said, no, we don't need to do that. That's a waste of money. Right?
In theory, we don't actually know what he said.
That's a total waste.
We don't know. We don't know why that never got done. It seems very foolish, obviously, now in retrospect.
He had easily $10 million to put into an escrow account.
Yeah, I don't know why they didn't.
I'd be like, do it. It's not my money. It's campaign money.
It's very weird. I don't know why they didn't do it. I don't know if it was just it fell through the cracks, incompetence. Who knows? But.
I don't think he liked William Barr because William Barr didn't go hard enough at all the people he wanted him to prosecute. So he's like, screw that guy.
Cohen paid for it personally without instruction from Trump and was never reimbursed for it.
Sure. Do you think has Cohen claimed otherwise though?
After the fact, yes, Cohen has claimed otherwise.
So, and those claims were under...
What was the claim, Sitch? I missed it. Do you know?
Sorry, the claim was... there were two claims. Is that Cohen claimed that Trump and him had a conversation about how to pay Stormy Daniel and whether he would pay for it or how it would go to things. So Cohen's pointing the finger at Trump.
Right. He's going to say that conversation was explicit. I mean, my thinking is that conversation was Cohen saying, I'll take care of it. The less you know, the better, because that's usually how it goes in these kinds of situations. Yeah.
And Cohen is kind of, he was charged and,
of course,
prosecuted and I went to jail for
so he's
a bunch of stuff too. And so a lot of it's like, well, Cohen's a notorious liar. how much is he going to be trusted? You know, if the prosecution in New York is really hinging so much on Cohen's testimony, I think that's going to be very weak because Cohen is a known liar. So,
right,
you know,
like Trump could get out of that easily by saying, "Yeah, I told him don't do anything illegal." Like if he said, even if he said, you know, I'll take care of it. The less you know, the better. As soon as Trump says don't do anything illegal, you're solid.
Right.
Cohen paid for it personally without instruction from Trump and was never reimbursed for it.
Sure. Do you think has Cohen claimed otherwise though?
After the fact, yes, Cohen has claimed otherwise.
So, and those claims were under oath, correct?
Then he should be charged with perjury if that's the case.
But the statements by his boss, were those statements under oath?
His boss?
Yeah, or the other lawyer. Yeah, the other lawyer. Were those under oath?
I don't know who the letter was filed with.
Something that Rosenstein said that I think was really important when he was asked for questioning. This was like 3 or 4 years ago, I think, is he would get very irritated when he was brought before Congress and claims of the media. I think Jim Jordan did this to him. The claims from the media would be brought before him and they'd say, well, what do you think about this? Or what do you think about that? And he says, well, I don't think that's true. And he's like, do you think they're lying? And something Rosenstein said was, well, if you think they're lying, bring them and have them testify under oath. So I think it's important when we look at people's statements. People will say a lot of things. We saw this with Giuliani and his claims about Trump. People say a lot of things, and then when they're under oath, their stories change significantly. So I'd always be cautious to compare statements made under oath to something that some guy might have just said in a letter or said to the press or said to a friend.
Who's Rosenstein?
I think this was sent to the Federal Election Commission.
Maybe, yeah.
That's what it says. Via email, Federal Election Commission, Office of Complaints Examination and Legal Administration, attention, Crystal Dennis. And the letter says that Cohen did it of his own volition. He paid for it out of pocket. He was never reimbursed. So I would put it this way. It seems political when you have a letter like this from years ago, from 5 years ago. But again, fair point. We'll see what happens. My issue with it for the most part is really falsified record misdemeanor charge. You want to get into the debate about Barack Obama blowing up a kid? Because I would absolutely love to talk about that. Look, if they want to give Trump a misdemeanor charge and lock him up for however many months a misdemeanor gets him, I would absolutely be willing to make that to agree. You're right. He's got to be charged. Next up, Obama. He blew up a kid. He blew up a bunch of kids.
I don't know if Obama broke a law.
I don't think America.
Is there some new movement on this case, or is Tim just bringing this up as like a?
It's just the worst thing the president did situation, I think.
Yeah, not quite a whataboutism, but it's just sort of like a, well, if you do X, we should do Y.
I don't think it's really a whataboutism because it's this is the thing. If you're going to charge one person, by the letter of the law for jaywalking and the other person, you're not even going to give any kind of charges when they do serious crimes, then obviously that's the
why I said it's
problem
not
with the
quite
system.
a whataboutism. It's more of a if you do X, we're going to do this.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. But
you got to have a consistency.
Yes, I agree. Consistency in the law.
Hi, you just listened to a clip from the Sitch and Adams show. If you like what you heard, you can listen to our live show right here on this channel on Sunday, starting at 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern. And if you want, you can super chat us. We read $20 and up super chats on the show and then do a follow-up stream on the following Tuesday where we read the rest of the unread super chats and interact with fans of the show. Subscribe to this channel right here to listen to the live show or to listen to more of our awesome clips.